Yes.
On Korea situation, more detail about ask about in the agreement on South and North Korea yesterday. North Korea expressed the word regret, R-E-G-T, instead of, they're using instead of apologize to South Korea.
Yeah.
What is different between regret and apologize? Is there any diplomatic word for regret? Is more.
Well, you're asking the wrong guy about diplomatic word meanings. I'm still learning all kinds of new language here at the State Department. I think, and you can tell I'm not exactly succeeding.
Having seen the wheel, this regret, condemn,
no.
Apologize.
But I appreciate the reminder about the comments or the word choices in my statements. Look, I think what's important to remember here, Jenny, is that this was first and foremost an agreement between North and South, and that President Park found acceptable the expression made by them. I don't think it would be appropriate for me here at the U.S. State Department to weigh and to try to characterize the difference between the word regret and apology. The important thing is that they came to an agreement and that we now have an opportunity for the tensions to be decreased, and we're starting to see, that happening now. I think we still have, a couple more days here to take a harder look at this, but that's the most important thing, that the dialogue brought about an agreement to decrease the tensions. Now, obviously, as I said yesterday, actions speak louder than words, so we have to kind of see how this plays out.
Because of the North Korean delegation, Mr. Hwang Byung-seo, who is military chief, he go back to North Korea, have his statement, say, we never had any apologize to South Korea. It's a totally different thing. So how are we going to accept this agreement? How the United States
it matters most that North and South have accepted this agreement. This was a discussion between them, and they came to this conclusion, to this agreement, and now our expectation is that we want to see it implemented, and we want to see the tensions decrease. We weren't in the room and weren't a party to the discussions, and I think that's wholly appropriate. And so I think your questions would be better placed to people that were in the room and not to the U.S. State Department. As I said, yesterday we welcome this agreement. We want to see the tensions decrease. And as for what was agreed to on either side and how they feel about it or characterize it, that's for the sides to speak to. Okay? Somebody had a follow-up on this? Yes.
So you had announced that Ambassador Robert King was going to Beijing. Was this prompted by the increased tensions between North Korea and South Korea?
I'm sorry. We announced that
Ambassador Robert King, on human rights in North Korea, the special envoy.
No, I mean this was not tied to the tensions over the weekend.